looking at him with
what?
these seductive eyes. Behold.
No. Don't make me regret it, please.
All make
2 out of 5 is too generous. So today we're reacting to this controversial webtoon is drawing with an ugly art style and it's gone too far. I can't wait to see what their panels look like. Apparently they're a disaster. Anyway, let's get into the video.
In my last webtoon video, we took a look at this popular webtoon that had a rather funny story and an even funnier way of drawing the main characters in his story. But today we're looking at a webtoon that has somehow become controversial because of its art style, causing people on TikTok to make fun of the drawings for having funny looking features, wonky proportions, and apparently there was an entire situation behind why the artist decided to draw the characters like this, which has people spiraling all over the internet talking about it.
Already? Oh my god, what's going on?
He needs some milk!
Do you honestly think you're fucking fun fucking with her friends?
Can we go back a little bit? What is going on? Oh my god, this is so messy. Look at the hair. Oh my god. Listen, guys, I don't even know how to draw. And I feel like I could do better. I don't know, I'm just saying. I mean, at the very least, couldn't the artist just use one of those hair brushes? You know, the one with the texture already there? Because this is a mess.
The webtoon we're diving headfirst into today is none other than Doomsday Protector, which surprisingly has a rating of 2 out of 5 and is filled with comments all making
2 out of 5 is too generous.
In fun of the art style and calling it the worst art style they've ever seen in a webtoon. I'm rereading it only for the comments because the art style is pretty much a joke. And don't get me wrong, the artist has talent. I love the coloring, but the artist needs practicing more. This was the worst BL I have ever read. Although if you need a good laugh and cringiness, you can read it too. Well, I guess
I'm pretty sure it's not even that bad.
Going to be quite an interesting read for me and you. The summary of the webtoon reads as follows. 4 months after the zombie outbreak in country A, Yuzen's shelter in J City is also overrun. With nowhere else to go, he has no choice but to escape under the cover of night. He unexpectedly runs into a powerful Air Force squad. In order to survive, Yuzen attempts to seduce one of the soldiers. Little did he know, several soldiers would end up interested. Let's see where this story takes us.
I'm scared. The chin, oh my god.
The first chapter immediately starts off with this gem of an image, so we definitely know we're in for a treat. Because what are these proportions? Why are the heads so small? Why are they drawn like this?
Oh, Lord.
The chapter starts off giving us a little backstory into the zombie outbreak that ravaged the city, nearly wiping out the entire population. After a month, survivor camps were set up, and then the military was dispatched to destroy all the zombies and also search for survivors along the way. Now, before we go any further, anyone who has watched a decent zombie movie already knows this is 100% a recipe for disaster just waiting to happen. Sending the military back in to search for survivors never turns out well, so the troops are called up to proceed with the extractions and like, what even is this frame? I'm crying. What are these proportions?
What's happening there?
These guys have the longest legs ever. At least this guy doesn't look too bad. So we're introduced to these characters who I believe are our lead characters, and they're talking about a girl from the last group of survivors who supposedly asked our boy with the fine haircut out. But he apparently refused her, saying she's not his type, and then starts calling her and other survivors weaklings for some reason, saying they were just looking for bodyguards and were not really in love with them. Which kinda makes my head hurt in confusion. Please help me understand this. Isn't the sole purpose of the military to protect survivors and people who can't fight for themselves? Why is he calling them weaklings?
Exactly.
So the boys are about to set out to look for survivors because they haven't found any since the last outbreak, and now they have to go check different survivor bases to find them. So they go back and forth arguing over who's tagging along and who's getting into the jet first before they eventually head out on their mission. And chapter 1 ends. So far, aside from the proportions,
You guys are overreacting. Like, yeah, the proportions are a little wonky, sure, but not gonna lie, I've seen way worse. So for me, chapter 1 is still pretty solid. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Looking extra hilarious and exaggerated. I think it's safe to say the drawings don't look as bad as
Exactly,
the internet
it's
is
not
saying.
that
I've got to
bad.
give it to the artist because this guy looks hella cute here. Look at bro's face. But the thing that bothers me is the faces look kinda okay, but the proportions...
Awful.
The proportions are just something else, to be honest. Why are bro's hands so long? I mean, what even is going on here? Look at this guy.
Don't
Why is
ask
he
me.
so wide? He looks like those bodybuilder memes where they're trying to pass the door at the same time, but then they're so wide that they can't pass, so they have to turn sideways and face each other, which is so stupid. Chapter 2. So our guys pull up to the city and spot a horde of zombies at the gas station and immediately start blasting. And remember when I said the art wasn't that bad? I may have made an early judgment because...
Guys, stop. I was literally defending chapter 1 literally 2 seconds ago. Don't make me regret it, please.
Everything immediately starts going downhill from here.
Oh, no.
Why do the characters in the back look so cheap? Look at the blood. It's not even drawn properly. It just
They look
looks like
dirty.
the
They just look
artist
dirty.
just added the blood as an afterthought. And what is even going on with the 3D background? Lord have
Oh, wait. That's so true. I didn't even catch that.
mercy.
Oh my
Is
god,
this
this
supposed to
3D
be
background.
fire from an explosion? This just keeps getting worse and worse, bro. To be honest, when everyone was saying the art was really bad and complaining
They were not
about it,
lying.
I didn't think it was going to be this bad. This has to be the most badly drawn webtoon I have seen so far. All the trees literally look the same. It looks like
Guys, never mind. I take back what I said. This is genuinely terrible. This can't be real.
he did and then pasted it all over the place. Or maybe he just used one brush to draw all the trees in the image. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. So the troops land and start clearing the streets, leaving no one behind. And the badly drawn zombies just keep coming out of nowhere, attacking the soldiers. And when I say badly drawn, I mean badly drawn. Was the artist held at gunpoint and forced to draw these panels? Were they like
guess.
tortured to make this webtoon? Why are the drawings this bad? Anyway, our boys clear up the streets and start searching for survivors. And by the way, it's so funny how up till this point we still don't know the names of any of the characters. I mean, I just know them by their hair. So two-strand hair guy hears a noise from behind whatever this is and goes to search to see if it's just another zombie, but then he finds a human survivor who was hiding, and that's the end of chapter 2. Okay, now that was a roller coaster of a ride. The art was bad. The art was so bad that people are leaving comments asking the artist to delete this webtoon from the internet. I mean, I already knew prior
You guys are so rude.
to getting into this that the art was possibly going to be kind of bad, but I just didn't expect it to be as bad as this. And can we talk about the proportions of the survivor? I mean, look at this. What waist where? Bro is literally snatched. Also, can someone explain to me why he's all white and is he wearing a dress shirt or something? I don't get it. Apparently this character is the one that was getting the most hate on TikTok, and people were making fun of the proportions and even going
What
as
is this? This is the most accurate cosplay of a character I've ever seen in my
far as
life.
doing cosplay
Terrible.
to show just how ridiculous the proportions are.
你吃不吃火龙果？我问你，
Yeah, I really
你
want
吃
to
不吃
traumatize
火
me
龙
or
果
what?？
你吃不吃火龙果？你吃不吃？问你吃不吃火龙果有那么难吗？
Oh my god.
吃不吃？
I feel harassed.
给我吃！
Oh my god.
I also found someone on TikTok who was fixing the art because they thought the characters' proportions were just so ridiculous. There were so many other videos making fun of the proportions and calling out the webtoon for having the worst art style. And after reading it so far, this is the first time I sadly have to agree with TikTok. It indeed looks as bad as how everyone is describing it, but we still have a few more chapters to read, and I don't possibly expect it to get any worse than this. Chapter 3. Yeah. That's...
See the chin. That chin is sharp enough to cut steak.
What very interesting opening. I mean, so far we've seen some very questionable art, but this is beyond me. Why does the face look like that? Bro has been looks maxed with that jaw. Holy. Even the other character is shocked by how he looks. So Soldier Boy walks over to him to confirm if his eyes were deceiving him, and then he asks him if he's a survivor, to which he responds yes. And the panel is just... oh my god, this is making my head hurt. I really need to find out why the art is this bad. Like, what happened? What was going on with the artist? Is this just a prank and then all of a sudden the art gets insanely good as we go up in chapters? So. Like, I need to know what's going on here. So I went to Reddit to see if I could find some answers, and after scrolling through all the posts making fun of the art style, I landed on a comment that said the artist was drawing like this on purpose as a protest because they were getting paid less while still being forced to do the same amount of work, which kind of makes sense for them to draw like this. But then another person left a comment saying the artist had been accused of tracing and copying other artists' work, but then they denied all the accusations, posted a drawing process, and then threatened to sue the people who were calling them out and accusing them of tracing. There's also a comment that said the artist was drawing with their fingers on Procreate, and another comment that said the artist was a well-known rage baiter, but honestly, we just have to take all these with a grain of salt. One thing we do know for sure is that the art was mostly drawn badly on purpose, so that apparently settles all the assumptions I was having about the art. Anyway, the story continues with our main character telling the survivor they came down there to clear the area and look for survivors, and that he's also safe now so they can just leave together. Then the artist decides to bless us with some feet content. Behold. No. I have never seen proportions this bad in my life. Why is he so long?
Those legs are literally chopsticks.
Oh, his white skin just makes him look like the vampires from Twilight if they were filmed with stretch res. Bro is still shocked at what he's witnessing in front of him.
I am shocked too.
Anyway, he asked the survivor what he was doing here and how he came to be alone, and he told him he escaped from the last survivor base because it got overrun by zombies. But the only thing going on in bro's head is, where are your pants? I don't even know what I'm reading anymore, man. Apparently he was taking a shower when zombies attacked, so he had to run off without his pants so he could escape.
Yeah,
but
right.
Bro wasn't buying his story at all and was looking at him like Sergeant Dokes. Like, bro definitely knew this guy is overly freaked out. Like, why are you out here with just your pants? But at the same time, he's looking at the soldier and drooling all over for him. Oh, he's towering and formidable. He stands for order. He's super handsome. Absolute firepower.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
Exactly. What are we talking
looks
about?
Incredibly powerful. If only I could align myself with him, then I'll never have to eat grass roots or gnaw a tree bark again. Align myself with him as a survivor, I can understand. But eating grass and tree bark, what has bro been doing with his life? And there's no need about being bitten by zombies or violated and enslaved by others. Whoa. I beg your pardon? Violated?
By zombies?
What do you mean by that? So he proceeds to try to woo the soldier with his perfect face and slim body, and then begs him to follow him any and everywhere and tells him he'll literally do anything to stay by his side because without him there's nowhere left for him to go and he's not sure if he'll survive on his own. And that's how the chapter ends. Wow.
That was crazy.
Well, it's getting interesting, I can't lie. At least this chapter didn't have as much bad art as the previous one.
True.
And I'm guessing it's because the artist just wanted to show that these two guys are literally so hot, which is why he drew them like this and tried to make them look as hot as possible.
Except for the
Aside
chin.
from all the long limbs and feet content, I'd say this chapter was pretty decent. What can we expect going forward? I don't know, but I sure am excited to see. Speaking about exciting things to see, if you enjoy videos like this talking about controversial art, webtoons, and disturbing situations in the art art community on the internet, you should subscribe. I post weekly and talk about art, things happening in the art community, and other things of that nature.
Link
If
in
that's
the
something you
description.
find interesting, just hit that little chapter 4. We start off looking at bro's wide back that can serve as parking space for 2 sedans, and then he asks homeboy to follow him. So homeboy tugs on his shirt and says he's scared of zombies, but the soldier is immediately shocked and looking at bro wondering what he's even doing. So he decides he has to find out if he even likes guys in the first place before he can attempt any more shenanigans. So he continues holding him by the waist and they keep walking with their extra long legs. Like, I can't understand why their legs are so long. Cute homeboy then stops because apparently he stepped on a piece of glass and he can't go no further. So he asks big boy to take a look
okay, then you can stay on the floor then.
at his feet for him. And
Nobody's
yet again,
gonna carry you.
we're blessed with some flashy feet content.
Again.
I just can't help but laugh at how the toes are drawn. Why do they look like short fingers? So big boy starts fondling with his foot, but he doesn't find any piece of glass or wound. And when he's about to ask him to get up, little bro just shoves his foot all the way up in his face without consent.
Without consent.
I mean, look at bro's face. He doesn't even know what's happening and is in complete shock. Lil bro then apologizes, saying he couldn't stop himself, and then asks him if he's okay while still rubbing his paws on his chest. Then he starts looking at him with these seductive eyes like, wow, what you gonna do? But big bro asks what got into him and why he's behaving like that, and then asks if he can walk, but apparently he twisted his ankle, so big bro was going to have to carry him around like Leon carrying Ashley on his back. So he puts little bro with the long feet on his shoulder and they proceed to move on. What have we learned so far? This Twilight vampire guy is clearly overly freaked out. Why did bro shove his foot into his face like that? What was the point of starting all that drama with the piece of glass in the first place?
I know, right?
You could literally just have said you were tired and he will still have carried you all the way. Also, the amount of feet drawings this artist has shoved in our face is pretty alarming. One thing I love looking at after reading every single chapter is all the people leaving comments at the bottom. Goofy ass art style. Gooners will pass on this one. That's just so funny.
You guys did
Imagine
not.
Gooners turning away because the art is so bad it's a turn off. I don't know how the hell the soldier is bearing with this white guy, but it's so weird to kick someone's face with dirty legs. It is weird. What was he even thinking? And then he had the nerve to make this face right after. What is wrong with you, bro? What's going on? The same question I keep asking myself after witnessing this abomination. Well, what do you guys think? Should we read one more chapter?
Yes, sir.
Chapter 5. So Daddy Longlegs follows Soldier Boy back to their base and he eventually puts some pants on and then he starts standing directly in front of Soldier Boy trying to look sexy. Other soldiers immediately notice and start wondering what's happening between their comrade and Timu Edward Cullen. But Soldier Boy pulls out a chocolate bar or whatever this is and starts eating it. Longhair guy also pulls out a chocolate bar and starts eating it, but then Timu Edward Cullen starts sulking like a cat watching you eat. So Soldier Boy cuts the chocolate bar and gives him the other half. And then he immediately starts blushing looking at long hair soldier guy. Like, bro, what is even going on? Weren't you just shoving
why are you blushing?
your foot into the other guy's hair? Or like, did you forget that part, bro? Bro was just in the corner watching all of this unfold before his eyes. Apparently you hurt his feelings, bro. Did you think about that? Anyway, that was the end of chapter 5 and at this point, I don't know how many more chapters I can survive. Although I can't lie, the story is kind of started to get interesting and steamy. And I want to see just how far this goes. I think this is just my curiosity getting the better of me. But anyway, what do you guys think about this webtoon?
What do we think? Well, I wouldn't call the art ugly. If you told me it was like an intentional art style, I would buy it, you know. Except for the copy and paste trees from the beginning. Yeah, I can't defend those. This is crazy. This is genuinely awful. Like, if I was desperate enough with absolutely nothing to read, I would probably end up reading it unfortunately, guys.
The art style, do you think the art style is ugly and genuinely
No.
horrible? And let me know in the comments if you want to see me survive a few more chapters
100%.
without gouging my eyes out of my head. Well, it looks like you made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, share the
comment,
video with
subscribe.
a friend who has never heard of this webtoon, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being
Subscribe, listen
said,
to
I'll
him.
see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye bye, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And let me know in the comments what you think about the webtoon. Bye bye.